Hey, what up people, the Football Talkative, I'm your host AB and I'm back again with another video. Hey, listen, 30 games gone. Oh no, my bad. 28 games gone, 10 games left, bro. You know what I'm saying? Premier League is cooking real nice, yeah. I have to be honest, by the way, you know, normally I would have tried to drop my video yesterday, but I decided to delay it today because, you know, obviously Man United was playing Everton yesterday. So I had this feeling that United might have a little something for me, you know, have a little something for the man them to talk about, you get what I mean? But yeah, actually, fortunately for United, disappointed me. Wasn't the most fantastic performance. I think Everton really put the game on them and stuff, but yeah, Man United, they survived, bro. They survived, you know, they found a way to win the game. Sesko yet again coming off the bench to rescue it for United. You understand? It was an amazing finish. In fact, the goal in general was nice because, I mean, the tenacity from Cunha, he worked hard, not just in attack, defensively. Some of the tackles he was putting in, they were like defenders type of tackles, you know. And I don't think Bruno had the best game, you know. Probably if they had lost that game, it would have been one of the highlights for the worst on pitch and all of that. But Cunha really, he stepped up, grabbed the reins, you know, and in the lead up to that goal, like in the build up to that goal, obviously it was an Everton corner and everything. That pass, you know, that long switch to immediately hit Mbemo, who then lays it in perfectly for Sesko, and then one-time finish by Sesko. Listen, good goal, you know what I'm saying? And United make it, well, that's like 5 wins under carried now, I think. 5 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, something like that, you know. And strengthen their position for top 4. You already know, you know, Villa looking a bit shaky, Liverpool looking a bit shaky, and United could really, you know, if they keep going like this, they could really claim top 4 spots, you understand, which would just be a good way to end the season, just kind of at least salvage some of the horror they've been through this season, you know. So yeah, big up United. Well, yeah, give you your props, you understand, but it's still fuck United every time, you understand. Now let's go to the big stories of the weekend, you understand. First of all, let me start with Chelsea, you understand. Chelsea, some of you had a lot of lip, you understand, Arsenal about to bottle the league and all this other shit. Focus on your club, you understand. See, that's what happens when you don't mind your business. You suffer, you cry, yeah. Look at you now, drawing against Burnley, yet another red card, yeah. What is it with Chelsea? Why is it that almost every game these days you find a way to see red, yeah? Chelsea with another red card, stupidness, you understand, that will come to see from Chelsea in terms of their disciplinary record and all of that, you know. And then yet again, they fumble another game from a leading position and they drew the game 1-1, yeah. Look at your manager, you understand, he thinks this is what? You think this is FM? You think this is FIFA Ultimate Team? Talking about Liam Rosinha has arrived. That wasn't no Liam Rosinha, bro. There's nothing, the only thing senior about him was his name, you understand? Just call him Liam, you know, Junior or something, or Liam something else, because there's nothing senior about his tactics, nothing, you understand? This dude, man, I mean, boy, it was funny to see, man, like the way Chelsea crumbled in that game. Didn't look like they had a foothold on the game throughout, you know. Wingers at Chelsea still looking in confusion. Is it Garnacho? Is it Neto? Is it Esteval? Who's the consistent winger for Chelsea? I mean, yet again, João Pedro did his parts, you know, but you know, whenever there's no penalty, you know, Cole Palmer goes missing the game. Where was Cole Palmer, bro? You understand? Is he a winger? Is he a 10? Like, make up your mind, bro. You understand? Anyway, Chelsea crumbling to Burnley, you understand, drawing the game. Well, you understand, to be fair, maybe it's not crumbling, but in the context of Chelsea's season, trying to secure top 4, they're not safe, bro. So that's like crumbling, you get? That's like crumbling because they needed those points. They needed those points for sure. You get me? And then obviously City played Newcastle, you know. A lot of Arsenal fans were fasting and praying, you understand? They're fasting and praying, you know. that City would lose or drop points or something like that, and they almost, for a second there, Newcastle looked in that first half like maybe they will hand Arsenal their dream day, but it didn't work, you understand? City, the dominant team all through, obviously had to do a couple of underhanded tactics, I don't know what it is, man, with some of these decisions, like, they're just afraid to, like, hold anything against City, Bernardo Silva with the bump into, I think it was Dan Burn, already on the yellow card. Look at the goal Newcastle scored that got disallowed. Ruben Diaz pushes Dan Burn into offside position. Diaz is on a yellow card already, you understand? But, managed to scribble through. Look at Pep talking about, I don't think we'll win every game, look at the way man was jumping, excited, you understand? That's why some of these managers, man, they lie, bro, you understand? They lie, but obviously it was a good win for City, because after the embarrassing slip-up by Arsenal, still haven't forgotten that shit, you understand? The embarrassing slip-up by Arsenal against Wolves, it was important that City capitalized and draw the gap back to 2 points, pending where Arsenal play Tottenham, which is a big game. I remember in my last video I was saying, like, listen, with the way Arsenal dropped points against Wolves, that result favors City in two ways, and I still kind of stand by that, in the sense that, well, even though Arsenal still managed to keep, stop it being just 2 points, but still, at least City are still within breathing distance compared to where they were before, and you never know, man, you never know. So yeah, obviously, City got the win. Haaland, what a game by Haaland. Like, this was another, like, one of those committed performances. I mean, I talked about Cunha in the Man United game. Haaland was like 2 times better. Link up play, close control, the way he maneuvered the ball sometimes to get his shots off. Some of the defensive clearances he made, because there are periods in the game when Newcastle are they're sticking it on City, and City are having to make all these clearances from corners and all of that. And his height, his physical build, his presence was so key in dealing with all of those things, like well-deserved performance. And accolades to Haaland, I mean, you understand, for that performance. You could see even after the game, the way he just dropped to the floor, like he gave a lot physically in that game. I'm not saying, I mean, Haaland can never be accused for a lack of commitment, but that level of, like, the way he exerted his body, like, not seeing Haaland do something like that, and yeah, like I said, City managed to close the gap. Now to the big one, you understand? Because with City closing the gap, people are already wondering, like, what's up with Arsenal? What does Arsenal have for us? You know what Arsenal has for you? 3 points, 3 puntos, you understand? 4-1, yeah, away from home. Tottenham in your backyard. Because even though it's your home, your stadium looks like a backyard. We went there and we showed that we run the place, you understand? We own you, dog. We walk you like a dog every morning, you understand? Arsenal went there and just, yeah. If you notice, I don't have my belt on me today, you understand? Because Arsenal did their job, they did the business, you understand? Went to Tottenham. First half wasn't great, it wasn't the best display, to be honest. The play wasn't as cohesive. We weren't really, like, cutting through that. I mean, we got chances, but there were a lot of, like, half chances. It wasn't really, we weren't really, like, stitching the attack together as well. There are a couple of opportunities where we had, where Arsenal had to, stitch up like a counter or something like that. Maybe one of the passes just wasn't at the right weight, wasn't at the right momentum and stuff like that. And the move just broke down and stuff. But you see, eventually Arsenal got the goal, and yeah, really nice goal by Eze. Got a bit lucky with, the flicker, but the way he adjusted his body in, like, split seconds to volley downwards into goal was amazing. Then what then happens few seconds later? Declan Rice, captain-elect Declan Rice, few seconds after telling the guys like this, chill, everybody calm down, bring your mind here. What does he go and do? He goes and absolutely makes a mess of it, you understand? Basically, I don't know what he was trying to do, You understand? Do like a Cruyff, a Cruyff flip-flop or whatever around the edge of the box. Got dispossessed by Moani, and good finish as well by Moani. And yeah, it wasn't funny to see. It wasn't funny to see. But I mean, knowing Declan Rice, and you see the way he handled himself after that mistake, his head didn't drop. He continued to go, continue to fight, do what he normally does in the game. And yeah, second half, Arsenal came out a different team. This was now like the real Glock show. This was the Gyok show. That's why you see I started my video like this. Yeah, because the real gunman came out in the second half. Yeah, the real gunman in this league showed himself. He was like, yo. You know that meme where they say like, I'll do it myself. That was what Gyökeres did in the second half, yeah. He came out and did it all by himself. You understand? What's a performance from this guy, man? The hold-up play, the way he battled with the defenders, the work rate. There was that period in the second half, I think it was. No, in the first half, sorry, where I think something happened where they played in the ball. I think he rolled off him, he didn't quite control it. And the way he chased back, won the ball back, played the pass into Eze, or was it Trossard, I think it was. Like the work rate, you understand? And then 2 really good goals. Look at that first goal, bro. Like set up and bang, you understand? Nice pass by Timber, by the way. One of the really, really good things he did in that game, because it looked a bit shaky defensively, obviously. Gave away that foul very early in the first half, got the yellow, and he just wasn't looking as confident in making his tackles and all of that. But a very fine pass to Gyökeres. Look at the touch to set up, set the ball up. The ball just sat down, calm. Ball wasn't going nowhere. Picked his spot and bang! You understand? Like a real gunman. I told you, Glock 9 in building. You understand? Glock 9 over here. You feel me? Yeah, Gyök with the first goal. Eze, who has been ghost for a lot of games recently, somehow found his mojo back against Tottenham. Yeah, especially in that second half, man. Eze was just gliding. In fact, I always make the joke that the way Eze moves with the ball on the pitch, it looks like he's skating on ice. You understand? Easy, just cutting through them like a hot knife through butter. You understand? Moving around the pitch. Played a couple of, I think, 2 balls into Saka, which Saka on his best day would have finished a bit better, and that would have been 2 assists for him as well. But really, really good performance from Eze, especially in the second half. Saka, big up Saka. You know what I'm saying? A bit unlucky, finishing still needs work, but he worked hard. He was constantly a threat on the wing, taking on Jet Spence, getting in behind, created the first goal and all of that. Starting to look like the Saka of old, back on the wings again. You understand? Yeah, man, look at the second goal by Gyökeres, you understand? Well set up by the captain of the bench with an assist, you understand? To seal everything off. And overall, man, it was a really, really big response by Arsenal, because, like I said, with City winning their game against Newcastle, that was 2 points. 2 points behind Arsenal. So the pressure was on Arsenal for sure in a big game, like the North London derby, sorry. And if there's a game where you can win the fans back, you can win over the trust back of the fans, provide a response, North London derby is the perfect game for that. And Arsenal responded well. But Big Gabby, you need to be careful, bro. You see. Listen. Just be careful, bro. You understand? Don't be playing poker too much in the box like that. You understand? You know what you did there, big man. Just chill. Just do the warrior thing. You understand? Deal with it. No more gambling, please. You understand? Because that was a very controversial decision at the time. But yeah, man, like I said, Arsenal responded big. You understand? Restored the lead back to 5 points. You understand? And 10 games to go, man. Officially in maybe quote unquote what would be like the real running period of the season. Now, what's going to happen? You understand? Looking really nice. You understand? If Arsenal can keep this momentum going, they need to keep this momentum going. Arsenal have Chelsea next. City, I think they have Leeds. Both games they're tricky for both teams. You understand? So you can see that the title race is going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be full of suspense from now to the end of the season, because even after Chelsea, Arsenal still need to play Man City, you understand, which is a game that they must win. I think that's the game where if Arsenal can win, or depending on the position they are in the season, to be honest, a draw will not be the worst thing, but still it won't be as good as a win. If Arsenal can win, I think that will be like the final nail in the coffin. That will just be like done, like goodbye, because not only would they have advanced their position in terms of like the point gap on the table, but then also they would have got the chance to directly deflate the hopes of their direct title contenders, you understand, for the Premier League. So yeah, man, plenty still coming up, you understand. Yeah. Very nice, this thing, more football to come this weekend. And yeah, thanks again for watching the video. I appreciate all the support so far. Please consider subscribing to my channel, you understand. Try to drop videos every week after all the games, you understand. Consider following me on my social media, on Instagram, you understand. All links are in the description, you understand. And yeah, man, thanks for your support. Let me know in the comments what you think of the weekend's game so far. What do you think about Chelsea, you understand. Back to drawing ways, back to the drawing board, you know what I'm saying. No punchline intended, you get me. What do you think about Carrick, man? Should Carrick be the long-term manager at Manchester United? You feel me? Yeah, man. So I appreciate the love and support so far. I'll see you in the next video, you understand. Peace.